Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. And much of our time, let's use this link. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. So, let's start. I'm very sorry. It is actually because of a network issue. That is why we had this problem. So, please, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? So, as I said, today we are going to answer past question paper, and this is general metabolism. And when we say general metabolism, we know that it actually comprises all the uh, metabolism, including carbohydrates, protein, lipid, and nucleic acids. But now my problem is that I don't know if you can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. Please, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? So let me share the question paper that we are going to solve. Okay. So I think you can clearly see this question paper. So I think you can clearly see this question paper. The questions actually, if you look at it, we are to answer 4 questions, and all in all, there are 6 questions, and we are to answer, or you are to answer 4 questions out of the 6. And as you can see, the exams is 2 hours 30 minutes. So I always used to tell students whenever they are going to answer any examination that they should read instruction very well, because it is very, very important. So these are the questions, and as you can see, each of the questions carried a specific mark. So now we are going to start with question 1A. So as you can see, question 1A says distinguish between aerobic and anaerobic glycolysis. Distinguish between aerobic and anaerobic glycolysis. So that is the first question, that we are to distinguish between aerobic and anaerobic glycolysis. So let me ask this simple question, please. Who can tell me the differences between aerobic and anaerobic glycolysis? There's any idea? I think the first thing that you need to know here, you see the question says we are to differentiate between aerobic and anaerobic glycolysis. And as you know, when we said aerobic, it means in the presence, in the presence of oxygen, in the presence of oxygen. That is aerobic. And then anaerobic, it means in the absence of oxygen, in the absence of oxygen. So of course, what is glycolysis? So I think the simplest way to differentiate between aerobic and anaerobic glycolysis is that aerobic glycolysis is the process whereby glucose is breaking down or break down to produce pyruvate absence of oxygen. But you should understand that, ladies and gentlemen, the products generated in the aerobic glycolysis and anaerobic glycolysis are different. I want you to tell me what are the end product of glycolysis when you have glucose breakdown in glycolysis. Glycolysis. Who can tell me what are the products? So what are the products do we generate in glycolysis that are generated? Excellent, Jidda Ali. Okay, hello, please, can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now? Yeah, but Isa, can you hear me now? Isa Iam, can you hear me now? The network problem, the network, is it from your side or from my side? Okay, so you now can now hear me. Okay, so no problem. So what I'm saying now, in aerobic glycolysis, it's a type of glycolysis that take place in the presence of oxygen, while uh, then in the anaerobic glycolysis, it's a types of glycolysis that take place in the absence of oxygen. And usually the end product of anaerobic glycolysis is lactate. So in the absence of oxygen, usually the end product of the glycolysis is lactic acid. So that is the difference between lactates and lactic acids. So that is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic glycolysis. So now, let me share the. So in question 1b, in an experiment to characterize a novel enzyme associated with energy metabolism. Okay, so let me share the question so that we can answer question 1b. Is a novel enzyme in an experiment to characterize a novel enzyme